Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we've finally convinced the board, at least for now, that we need to invest in our defenses. The board is definitely on board with that at this moment because of the multiple wars going on down here and these guys encroaching into the Pictlings. Now, we've broken our alliance with the Pictlings because we don't want to be drawn into their wars. But we know that we need to be building in the background. And there's also these wounded pirates over here that we need to deal with. Are we sending anybody to do that? No, we should send... Let's see, this guy has... Where's our faster fleet at? Did we send somebody to deal with that? Yeah, you're up here. Okay, I missed you. Okay, so we're dealing with Dongar. That looks good. Are these guys all upgrading? No, they should be. Okay, so we'll get those going. That's going to eat up all of our alloys for a while. So that's fine. And these will need to upgrade when they get back as well. For the moment, of course, we're mostly just chilling and researching, working on building a bunch of things, getting ourselves a solid economic foundation. That is our goal. We're very negative on food and consumer goods, and those aspects certainly need work. So there's ceramo metal armor. Cool. What do we want from here? I think the answer is coil guns. Excellent.
Upscaling complete.
So that'll be done. We completed the construction of a starbase up over here, and we'll definitely grab our mining stations then. And then we'll go grab Fimnu after that. Let's see, we're working on Pandil right now. We have 85 influence, so that is looking reasonably okay. This mining world here, it is indeed a mining world. We've got a couple of volatile moat locations. Okay. We need a job here, and we're doing okay on our mineral production. I'm thinking about putting in a... Actually, we don't have access to put in farms. Like, beyond the agriculture district. That's a little wild. Okay, I guess we'll put in a mining district, but it's not ideal, for sure. So, this here at least has seven agriculture districts. I'm going to make this be an agri-world. We're also going to put in a corporate culture site here, and... Ooh, I did not intend to close that. We'll put in an agriculture district here. This should probably end up being a mining world, realistically. We'll put in a corporate culture site for now. It's going to be slightly awkward. And this is going to be set up as a factory world. And yeah, we need to have additional crystal mines here. So upgrading our planetary administration would be the way to go. Strangely, the dimensional portal on Ilix Prime seems to connect to a planet which looks very much like Ilix Prime. Stranger still, there's a signal being broadcast to us through it. Put it on screen. Oh, hello. The leader of the Atreides Interstellar Construction Company.
Research
We are Provides Polymers. You are not Provides Polymers. Who are you? Fascinating. If what you say is true, I think this portal bridges the gap between alternate dimensions. We are both the Provides Polymers, but at some point, an event must have caused our respective dimensions to diverge. We should trade through our portal. I was about to suggest that myself, for the benefit of all Maloqui. Cool. So we'll bump up to fast speed. Apparently I hadn't done that.
Complete.
Excellent. And we did finish up our shield technology. So next, what are we going to grab? Well, I think fusion reactor is what we take. We've had power issues, so that'll be fine. And of course, alloys are continuing to be an issue. We've gathered enough information to create a new insight technology. So this is new on this version of Stellaris. This is the way that that observation posts work now. So we have an insight breakthrough that's imminent, and we finished research on coil guns. So I think that's what that gave us. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Okay. I would have preferred if we had gone for superfluid materials and it had given us that. That would have been better. It probably just chooses a random one to finish. The next time we have an observation event that would advance our insight, we'll gain a new research option. Okay, that's interesting. So maybe I'm wrong about that. I think we'll go for the metallurgist output. The board is kind of upset about our focus on military. We'll throw them a bone here, but this is also a military tech here because alloys, right? So that seems reasonably fine.
Special project actualized.
We've managed to recreate the cleansing process that the Ute would use to prepare their hatchery worlds. It does have some concerning short-term effects on the biosphere, but once it recovers, the planet should be more suitable to our needs. Okay, so we gain the atmospheric filtering tech. Cool.
Research actualized.
So that's good. That gives us some habitability. That will help our consumer goods and our food consumption, I think both. So that'll be great. This mining world requires a job. Is this really a mining world? That's a question we need to be asking right now. And the answer is possibly no. Now, this is currently designated an industrial world. We may want to designate it a factory world. That will cut down our alloy production, but that'll boost our consumer goods. And before we make any decisions on what we want this world to be, we'll see where that puts us. Plus 14. For now, we're going to get some agriculture production. But it's not going to be a great agri world.
Complete.
So we need to keep that in mind. Here in Utah, we are going to get a couple of additional trade hubs. We'd love to build a nebula refinery, but we're not in a nebula, so that's not going to be an option. We already have an off-world trading company, so perhaps a resource silo.
Colonial Enterprise upsizing.
Debris and Dongar, huh? Oh, right, from the pirates. Okay, so we're going to go upgrade this. And we do want to research that, probably, and this would be the closest science ship. It's going to take us a while to get there, but let's research that.
Research actualized.
Combat computer swarm? Okay, yeah, that should be decent. Fusion reactors. Excellent. Next, we can go for the cold fusion reactor. Getting additional ship power is a very big deal. So we will certainly work towards that. Beyond that, the society research... Oh, actually, the Ute astronomical interferometer here. Sensor range? I don't think we need that. And it's always going to be available. Executive retreats would be awkward. No doubt about that. Very, very awkward on the executive retreat. We'll go for the tile blocker clearance. I think that's fine. Our Empire capital required a job, but now it has disappeared.
Colonial
so that seems okay.
Enterprise upsizing.
Cool. So we're doing okay on consumer goods for the moment. We're not doing so okay on our alloys. We should probably consider getting a dedicated alloy world. Perhaps Muscal Prime here. So this would be a forge world. Yeah, that's probably for the best. So we'll designate that for now. Because we're at +2 for our alloys.
Upscaling
+2
complete.
is not great. So in Revok, we could definitely work on upgrading that if we had alloys, but we don't. Are we lacking any ships right now? And technically, yes, but it's awkward. So we need to take a look through our fleets here and see what we're doing wrong. We'll deal with this in a moment. We're lacking a raider. Okay, one of our raiders was destroyed. So that's fine. One of the scientists working at the observation post orbiting Vinjim 1 has been reported missing. He was taking part in a covert mission to collect plant samples from the planet's surface, but did not return to the shuttle with the rest of his team. We've been conducting a limited search so as to not alert the unsophisticated, but so far, without success. Okay, so we'll keep up the search. And that's not something that we can do anything with. Okay, noted. Let's buy in a few alloys here, just to give us enough to max out our fleet and get started on some of these starbases. There we go. That should do.
Competitive station engaged.
Where are we fighting a station? Oh, we went through the enigmatic fortress? Why did we do this? We should restrict this system. I just assumed it would be smart enough to not go in there. I was wrong. We are retreating. We did lose 2 ships out of that, but we did get some metallurgist output, so that bumps us up to plus 10 alloys, so that's not bad. From here, we could go for what? Probably autocannon? Sure, we'll go for autocannon. That'll be fine. So our ships are going to be back eventually. I mean, I'm not sure where they're going to come back. That's going to be interesting. We're full on minerals. We'll sell off some of those. 134 out of 88. I'm not sure how accurate that is. Oh, this is at 14 out of 40? A lot more were destroyed than I thought. And they're in Maradetta. Okay. We'll take them over to Nightbirth.
Upscaling complete.
And we're not going to work on upgrading right now. I think for the time being, well, we do want to grab our mining stations here. And we want to grab our mining stations here as well. So that's all good. We're going to be lacking some influence, but we definitely want to expand out this direction. No doubt about that. But I want to get our ships upgraded. So, we currently have access to coil guns. Level 2 fusion reactors are a pretty big deal, allowing us to go back up in our subspace sensors. For our corvettes, we definitely want to upgrade to ceramo metal armor. So we'll save that. For our destroyers, we want coil guns. We want fusion reactors. Subspace sensors. Can we drop this reactor booster? We actually can. And we can go to level 3 shields, although now with the level 3 shields, we need the reactor booster back, so fair enough. And we'll save that. And then for our cruisers, this is going to be a relatively sizable upgrade for our cruisers. Let's see, we can drop at least 1 reactor booster. Let's see what our power level is like with our shield upgrades. Yeah, minus 42. That's pretty bad there. Minus 2? Oof. Yep, I'm going to give that one an oof. We're going to drop our radar system down, but it's definitely non-ideal. We need more power. We're not shocked about this, for the record. Okay, so these guys are making their way back to Nightbirth. I do want to reinforce this fleet. How much do we need to fully reinforce it? 3615. That's a lot of alloys. It's like 40,000 energy credits worth of alloys. Unfortunately, the board won't authorize that. And with us having hidden these expenditures from them in the past, they are not very happy with us, unfortunately. This agro world needs a job. I'd love to put in additional food production here. We just can't. So we're going to put in an industrial district instead, maybe also upgrading to a business management nexus. That seems reasonably okay. So that'll do for now. Our food is definitely a concern, as are our alloys to a certain degree. Now we've got Ethos over here, and we've got Dongar up here. We do need to work on our trade setup. There's no doubt about that.
Actualized.
We'll head into SEO, and then these guys are going to head down to, like, Seacon. That'll do for right now. We did finish up cold fusion power, so that will help us, actually. We can also start working on research station output. That'll be a great thing to grab at this moment. So I want to hop into here. Or not here. It was the cruiser that we made the concession to. So we do something like this. We could have afterburners in here. If we don't need reactor boosters, the afterburners might be slightly better. That will cut into our damage a little bit, and it doesn't give us that much evasion. But it does give us a decent amount of additional sublight speed, which will let us move around faster before we build our speed enhancers. So for now, I think that's okay. For our destroyers, we're going to bump up to the cold fusion reactor, and we can drop the reactor booster and run dual afterburners as well. For largely the same reason. And then for our corvettes, we can just have the surplus power to boost our evasion and damage. So that looks absolutely great. But right now, the board is watching the alloy number. So we can't really use this too much because the board is a bunch of jerks.
Research
It is what it is.
actualized.
This tech world is needing an upgrade, and we'll get this business management nexus going. And we're getting some tile blocker clearances. So clearing tile blockers would definitely be a solid investment, particularly on like Tiamat Prime here. Cool. Any others that we want to clear out? Yes. 4 tile blockers here. And this is all economic investment, right? Clearing this is all like laying the groundwork for future business development. So the board has no problem whatsoever with clearing tile blockers. We're missing deep crust engineering to get that one, sadly, but there's a bunch of tile blocker clearances queued up. So that's looking solid.
Upscaling complete.
Mining station. Yep, that is fine. So we're going to head down into Seacon eventually. And we're making 5.18 influence per month. We're doing quasi-okay with our naval cap. We definitely need to consider boosting our naval cap. There's no doubt about that. But we're doing a lot better technologically now.
Detritus analyzed.
Autocannons are going to be done soon, and we're probably going to end up replacing our existing
Upscaling
ballistic
complete.
weapons with autocannon, is my theory. I want to go to a tech world here that isn't in Nightbirth. So we had a tech world down here somewhere, right? That we were setting up. So we've got these 2 tech worlds, Tiamat Prime and Cosmalian Prime. Those already have science chips over them. Those are our only 2 tech worlds currently. Noted. These might end up being tech worlds at some point. But for now, we'll head back to Entropy's Promise and assist research there. Okay, so that's fine. In SEO, we're going to build our mining station, and then we'll head up over here.
Research
We'll need to grab the
actualized.
Scarab's Maw eventually, but there's the autocannon done. Plasma thrusters? That would help us respond a lot faster. Okay, I think that's definitely an interesting way to go there. That'll help us get around. So the Lesser Messenger does need to be reinforced. We need a lot of alloys for that.
Blocker liquidated.
The crew clearing the glacier on Mascal Prime has made a breathtaking discovery. Lodged kilometers deep within the ice is a colossal alien space station. Architecturally stunning and built with technology far superior to our own, it is a true work of art. The station appears to have crashed to the surface, surviving the impact thanks to its unusual shielding capacities, which our scientists are now eager to examine. Regrettably, an archaeological excavation would prevent us from working the land until its completion. We need to learn how it was built. We are very, very interested in architecture and construction. We will absolutely excavate the site. So that is at Maskfall Prime. And that is a location that we should actually go excavate right now. Cool. That is a better use for this science ship. So I like it. The Cache Compose is chilling in Seacon right now. We'll build our starbase here eventually. That is lacking 12. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a whole lot. The awareness has decreased to low awareness. Okay, that's good. I've never heard that notification before. So, this is set up as a factory world. But I'm going to switch it to an agro world for right now. And we are going to build agriculture districts. This is going to switch one of our artificer jobs into a metallurgist job. So this is going to drop our consumer goods and ultimately increase both our alloys and our food. We'll see how badly it drops it. +3.
Blocker liquidated.
Okay. For now, that's probably acceptable. Here in our capital, we do need a job. Alloy Megaforge? I think there's a good argument for alloy Megaforges here. And that is, we really do need the alloy production. And yeah, we dip negative in our consumer goods. I'm not hugely shocked about that. That's about what I expected. And we don't really have the
Upscaling
access
complete.
to subsidize it at this point. Although a research subsidy might not be a bad idea. At this point, I'm sure that we could get away with dropping the information quarantine and map the stars, and instead do a research subsidy. I think that would be a better use of our influence. Or not our influence, of our unity. So that's
Blocker
okay for
liquidated.
now. And we can activate this relic, but we're not going to. When do we get our next unity? Okay. Adaptive economic policies isn't that great, but we're only 3 months out from it. So we'll
Good
definitely
business
wait on
is
that.
where you find it.
And hey, there's our research station output. And we can get another research station output buff. I like it. We're going to grab Acerin first here. And we'll just chill in Seacon while we wait for our influence. For now, that seems reasonably fine. So we've got a lot of these upgrades going on. Wua Prime here, I definitely think that we should consider, well, we need a gene clinic here more than anything right now. We need a gene clinic city district, and I think that we should consider getting this into a factory world. Maradetta would also be a decent factory world. Both of these would be good agro worlds as well. So I think one of these
Blocker
becomes
liquidated.
an agriculture world, one a factory world, or even just an
Colonial
industrial
enterprise
world.
established.
Yeah, I think either of those would be fine. Okay, so we got Deep Crust Engineering, and additional edicts fund would be good. We are currently spending edicts here, so 53.5. Yeah, that would definitely be good. We need a gene clinic here, and a city district. I do think that we make one of these into an industrial world, and one of them into an agro world. It doesn't really matter too much which is which, I think.
Upscaling complete.
And we can definitely grab our adaptive economic policy. So let's just designate this right now. This one is an industrial world. This one is an agro world. We're going to build agriculture districts here.
Blocker
And we're going to build
liquidated.
industrial districts here. I'm only going to build like 3 for right now, just to solidify this as an industrial world. So that'll be
Blocker
okay.
liquidated.
This tech world requires a job, and really what we need is a building slot on a tech world, so we're going to grab a city district here that will fill this job, but that will also open us up a building slot for an additional research complex, so that will be worthwhile. Our capital also requires a job. I think a business management nexus makes sense here. We could also make an argument for upgrading to an advanced research complex, and we might want to do that, except that this is a worker
Blocker
job
liquidated.
that is not becoming a specialist. What type of worker is this? A slave. Okay. That explains it. We may need to migrate them. What is the strata of culture worker? Culture worker is up here, right? Yeah. So we do need to resettle this guy, and we'll resettle him over onto our new agro world over here. And yeah, there's currently unemployment here, but that will change. So we're going to pop our slave in over here, with the idea being that they're going to work in the farms. I do want to move this agriculture district up in terms of priority before the city district. But they are all put to work, so that looks good. Okay.
Blocker liquidated.
We definitely want to grab our mining and research stations up over here, and we'll get Seacon building. After we're done here, of course, we'll head down to Viscaran's Maw. Excellent. And in terms of our in terms of our alloys, things are looking okay. The board is iffy about letting us reinforce this. The main thing that they are
Research
concerned
actualized.
about is our cost of maintenance. And that's fair enough. We are actually better off saving up and not building them yet. So we did finish up a couple of technologies here. Additional tile blocker clearances would be very, very good. Beyond that, what do we want? Starbase building and module cost seems pretty good. We're going to have a lot of
Blocker
starbases.
liquidated.
Now, this is set up as a generator world. But it'll probably actually be an industrial world. So I'm going to put in an industrial district here, and we'll mark it as an industrial world. I want it to be mixed industry for the time being.
Upscaling complete.
So that'll be fine. We have Seacon under our control. We'll build our mining and research stations and then head on over this direction. Actually, no, we can grab Jaundice with this guy. That'll be okay. So yeah, as far as building our ships go, we are better off banking our alloys right now and not paying the increased maintenance that we would get from having our naval cap up. Our detection instruments have, for the first time, picked up radio signals emanating from Hasela 3. The industrialized alien civilization has evidently begun experimenting with wireless transmissions. Elsewhere on the planet, reports have come in detailing the launch of basic aircraft. Barring some unforeseen development, the civilization's technological progress will continue at a rapid pace. We need to monitor these signals indeed. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to expand out this direction and continue to work on optimizing our economy and research. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, and Lohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Anna the Elephant, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.